Hi, this is Brian Katzung from KCSG Power Tools for Kartra at kpowertools.com. From time to time, people ask if there's a way to customize their page builder pages or their membership posts to recognize and name the user who is visiting if it's a returning user. And my KCSG DataLink product allows you to access data from a number of different sources, including Kartra forms. So with a little instruction program for my DataLink library, like this one, it lets you extract information. If you embed a Kartra form into the page, it will pre-fill the username and email address, among other things. Normally Kartra would be pre-filling my email address here, but I've removed it for the purposes of this video, so I'm not broadcasting my email address to the world. So if you embed this form, Kartra will pre-fill it, and it is possible for my DataLink script to access fields in the form and then embed that information into a page. So here I've got a text block that is using the dynamic HTML feature of DataLink to fill in some values. So what this is saying is it's going to display this block conditionally depending on if the value that is defined as F first, so the first name field, if that's present, it's going to say welcome back, and then it's going to replace this with the first name. This says display this block if F first is empty. So if it's not set, it's going to say welcome guest. So it's going to say either welcome back and then the first name or welcome guest. And then over here I have a custom code block, which is just an empty image tag. It's got an ID of Gravatar that I'm going to use to fill that in my code, and there's no default image selected. So initially it's just going to show up as a blank space. But in my code, I'm going to set the source attribute for the image tag with ID Gravatar to the URL for a Gravatar image. So that's just a place where you can associate your picture with your email address. So when you save all this and run it, in a session where you are cookied for Kartra, that shows up like this. So since it knows who I am, it says welcome back Brian, and it used my email address to locate my Gravatar and plug in the URL that displays my Gravatar on this page. So that's demonstrating a couple of different ways. It's replacing a name in text, and it's actually modifying parameters in HTML code to change something that's displayed. So that's what happens when a user is recognized. Now if I go to that same preview URL in an incognito session where I have not been cookied, it's not changing any image, and it's saying welcome guest. So that's an example of how you can customize a page on the fly. And as you can see, since I'm not using the form for any input or registration or subscription here, I'm choosing to hide the form. So the form is on this page, but it's hidden, and it's only being used to collect the information necessary to customize the rest of the page. So that's an example of how you can customize using KCSG DataLink library.